Hi, good evening. My name is Shakina B. I'm the Executive Director of the Women's Coalition for Empowerment, and we are Sisters Attune. So a lot of people have been seeing us in the local Philadelphia region, and we just recently performed at the World Cafe Live, and we have several performances coming up. So I want to give some questions to people who've been inquiring about Sisters Attune. So we are all, I guess, freelance artists from multiple genres in the music community, and we've come together as a collective to increase performance opportunities and also increase our art economic development. So this is a small project that we have decided to put together to kind of raise our opportunities, our performance platforms, as well as increase our talents individually and collectively. So with that, for people who do know us or are trying to get to know us, I have a couple of questions for the ladies, but I'd like to introduce the ladies, starting from the other end of the spectrum. Oh my God, are we a rainbow?
Yeah.
Kind of,
we
sort of.
are.
We're like a rainbow?
I
Okay.
can sing a rainbow.
And what is your name, young lady?
Hi, my name is Alexa Gold.
Hi, Alexa Gold.
Hello.
What's your genre of music? I'm just curious.
My genre is soul, which I believe encompasses all genres. So,
Okay. Okay, well, hello, good evening.
And good evening to everyone. My name is Elegant. The name rhymes with DuPont. And my genre is jazz.
Oh, nice.
Hello, my name is Bethlehem, spelled just like the city, and my genre is soul.
My name is Shakina B, and my genre, I would say pop, R&B, funk, and Shakina. Those are my genres.
Good evening. My name is Sauda Al-Akbar, and my genre is jazz.
And all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask the sisters so I can allow people to get to know us on a personal level. So the first question is, I'm gonna start with Sauda. Why? What made you join Sisters Attune? Yes, we're digging deep. It just got hot.
Yes, it did. What made me join Sisters Attune? It was an opportunity to sing with like-minded people who I think had a similar vision to what it is that I wanted to do as far as performances, and just a shared goal of the music, period.
Okay, that's awesome. This is all natural. This is unscripted, by the way, so. Bethlehem.
Yes, so I joined Sisters Attune because I absolutely love each and every lady that is up here with me. I love their voices, their singing style, and I just found it to be an opportunity for me to grow musically and to be exposed to other elements musically that would aid in my musical talent.
Okay. Madam
Next.
Elegant. Why did you join Sisters Attune?
The attraction for me is singing harmony. And these ladies are wonderful ladies. I also love the camaraderie that was also a part of it. But I am originally a background vocalist, and to have the opportunity to sing harmony again after many years, I'm not going to say how many years, that was very appealing to me. And also the ladies are very beautiful, and they all sound great, and that was also a big draw.
All right. Alexa?
all right, so I think everyone really said some incredible things up here that I totally agree with. But for me, one of the most important things was to be educated, and another thing was to be mentored as well, because I find that working with people who have different experiences than I do, different backgrounds in regards to music, different styles and voices, helps me to learn. And I want to grow as an artist, not only as a solo artist, but in working, collectively with these women or with anyone else. So being a part of Sisters Attune has been an incredible growth experience, and that's one of the blessings of it.
Okay, I guess I had to ask myself that question. The main draw I have is having some creative license and producing the kind of music, the style. You know, I'm able to dress the way I feel comfortable and be myself. And some other musical opportunities I've had, I had to kind of fit whatever the mold was I was being hired for. So I have a little bit more creative license. Another question I have is, what have you gained? I'm going to start from you. What have you gained by being a part of Sisters Attune, Sister Alexa?
Learning about my strengths and learning about my weaknesses, which being a solo artist for so long, you get so used to your own particular style and the way that you're performing, and you may not have people necessarily telling you or being very critical of, you know, your sound or your style or your performance. So being a part of this allowed me to see, okay, these are where my strengths are, but this is what I can also work on, and that's very important in order to become a better performer.
So I'm thinking the constructive feedback.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome.
That sounds great, yeah.
Yeah, Sister Ella.
I think I can also agree with that. And also, I get a chance to share, you know, just whatever experiences I've had. And then I get to sing harmony. That's that's a big plus. I get to sing harmony again, and that's a lot of fun for me.
Okay.
Well, for me, it allowed me to, being around such talented ladies who have been trained musically, they allow me to see where certain things I need to fine tune on vocally. Like certain things I just wasn't hearing on my own, and then when they brought it out to me, and then when I listened back, I said, oh, I see what you're saying. So yes, that was like a major thing. And then I'm a percussionist, so to be able to incorporate what I do with a group as opposed to doing it, you know, solo, is really a great experience as well.
Okay. Sauda Al-Akbar.
Well, the first thing that I gained was truly a sisterhood. I can truly say that I love each and every one of you ladies.
Don't cry.
And I mean, wow, I get to sing with Aunt Ella.
You know what?
I mean, that's just amazing in and of itself. I mean, I remember being down the street at the African American Museum on a New Year's Eve, and you were there singing, and I was just like, wow. And I told my best friend, I said, we're in the right place. I said, you see that lady right there? I said, you just listen to her. I said, I'm going to be like her when I grow up.
Oh my goodness.
That's about 10 years ago. Yeah. So truly, I get to learn something from every single one of you ladies. I get the chance to learn and the chance to mentor and do a little directing. So, you know, it helps me grow in those things, you know, as well too. And just getting to sing with a group.
Wow.
You know, that's not something that I've done for a long time. I sang with another group a very long time ago, but it was like a cappella. But, you know, being able to sing a cappella and sing, you know, with instrumentalists, I mean, it's a great opportunity, and I just love every moment of it. It's a lot of work, and that's something else that I'm gaining, is getting back into work ethic, other than, you know, my own. But
Okay.
taking other people into consideration and that kind of thing as well, too. So.
That's awesome. Well, I can say for myself, having the opportunity to perform at platforms that I probably would not have had the opportunity to perform at the level that we're doing it. So we just have a lot more creative license on how we thematically put together our shows, how we want to dress, the kind of makeup we want to wear, the kind of nail polish I want to wear. So between all of those things, it's kind of like that autonomy, artistic autonomy is a huge deal for me. And I didn't realize how important that was until, you know, being a part of Sisters Attune, and I was able to gain that, as well as patience. I've learned a lot of patience developing these crazy people right here. No, seriously, but the sisters, we in. So now we're gonna move on to a fun part of this. I know you didn't expect it. So one, I would like, this is fun for me. So let's give everybody out there the tea of what's really going down. What is a challenge you have faced? We're gonna start with Alexis.
Oh my God.
Yes. What is a challenge you have faced while being in the group? Brrr.
A challenge, probably. You know what? I'm going to take it there.
Use your mic, honey.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? For me, feeling like, because I was never really trained vocally, feeling like I had a lot to catch up on, and sometimes feeling like I was maybe, I don't know, not strong enough vocally, and maybe
Okay.
that was like a personal thing for me, because I know everyone has their various experiences, but I know in some ways, everyone has been trained in a particular way. So for me, being such a
Girl, who been
independent
trained?
artist-
I have never been. Hold on, we're gonna stop there. Who's been trained?
No, I mean being like
Shakina B has never been formally trained.
But being an independent artist, I've gotten used to performing. Like, once I got out of college, it was basically like do open mics, do jam sessions, like sing background, and just learn, from the ground up. And so that's essentially how I learned.
I see.
But I never went to school for music. So for me, that was kind of like being around people who actually had some schooling or some critical training. I was kind of feeling like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm not strong enough vocally at times. So I think that was like a challenge for me.
Okay. Auntiella, what's been a challenge being a part of Sisters of Tune?
I think the biggest thing for me is scheduling.
Because you perform like every day, like sold out
I
concerts.
I wish it was every day, but I do perform often, and mostly in the tri-state area. And working my schedule, and I'm also at this particular time working a 9 to 5. And trying to balance the 9 to 5, my jazz gigs that I get, and also working with the sisters rehearsals, and just trying to schedule all of that. I hope it'll get a little easier next year when I retire.
Ooh.
But
Don't tell her employer.
howsoever, I think basically it's scheduling. I don't think we have that much of an issue blending. I think that's it's a bit of a challenge at times, but I think overall we've learned to work with each other, and I think I don't think it's nearly as much of a challenge. I guess the other challenge would be the fact that I'm a jazz vocalist and I have to go back and remember how to sing R&B. That's a little bit of a challenge.
Now bring them
And,
jazz chops. Bring the jazz chops.
it's a little different. I'm trying to take the same approach with the R&B songs that I do with the jazz songs, and sometimes I can work it in, and other times I just have to, stick with R&B. And also working with some of the musicians that we've had, that's also been a bit of a challenge. But we'll talk about that again.
Oh, that's one of our questions too.
a
We'll get to
minute.
that. We'll get to that. Bethlehem, what's been a challenge for you?
So my challenge has been learning certain harmonies.
Okay.
Certain harmonies that I'm not accustomed to singing. So that has been a real, because you have to learn how to open your ear up wider. Sauda gave me that point. So yeah, it's like hearing a note and then being able to execute it without falling back into your comfort zone, but staying in that uncomfortability.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's a word.
Uncomfortability, Webster. We'll see if
Until
that's
you get it.
Bethlehem dictionary.
Yeah,
The
That
Bethlehem
is, yeah,
dictionary.
that's the vocation stuff. So yeah, until you get the note. So that has been a challenge, and also working with certain musicians. Jazz is not my upbringing, so dealing with certain intricacies in the jazz world, working with jazz musicians, that has also been a challenge. But other than that, cool as a fan, baby.
I guess I can get to it now. I guess the challenge is figuring out what to do with my hair. So I think because we started out trying to figure out what to wear. For me, it's like all the other stuff is pretty cool. Even the challenges of trying to do the harmony and the vocals. I like learning the new tunes. Well, except that one tune that was like, I swear I thought I had to get a PhD in ear training, some sort of academy. I'm not gonna name the tune, but y'all know what the tune is.
I think we all know.
So for me, I guess the biggest challenge is trying to keep up with these fashionable ladies. And, you know, I'm not really a fashion person. Like, I could wear a garbage bag and a belt, and I'm just
Lies
pretty
and
good.
deception.
So trying to figure out what to do with my hair, what to do with my clothes. So that's my challenge. How about you, Sauda?
R&B chops.
R&B chops?
Yes.
What does that mean for our viewers?
I mean, I haven't really sang R&B since I was like a teenager, so many years ago. I used to sing it, but R&B chops. And the biggest challenge for me is finding those instrumentalists who have the same vision and want to put in the same work and the same work ethic that we have, that's going to help us realize what it is that we want to do.
Okay, so we just gonna turn it. I'm gonna just skip all the way down to that question because it has come. The comments have come in. So I have a question because this is something that a lot of vocalists may not fully consider when they're trying to either put together a production or acquire, you know, instrumental accompaniment. So let's talk about what has it been like working with musicians in this situation with Sisters of Tune. No. I'll save you for last. Alexa, how about you answer that question?
Okay, start with the easiest answer then.
Sure.
No, actually, I think for me it's been pretty. It's been great. I think the challenge is, you know, as you were kind of alluding to, just people seeing the vision and being committed to that as much as we are. You know, really studying the music. Like when we give it to them a month or a few months in advance, and when we get to the actual rehearsal and they know the music as opposed to just learning it right there.
It's gonna be a 20-minute comment, so let's go on.
Yeah, no, I think because musicians can be as talented as they want to be. If they don't do the work, though, it means nothing. And especially when you're working with a collective of multiple singers, it's important that you study ahead of time because you want to be prepared, because you're also dealing with different personalities, different styles. And so for myself, I would want to be prepared for that. So, you know, I think that was one of the things, that was one of the interesting aspects of working with the musicians, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Auntie Ella.
So my situation, I think, is a
Ooh,
little
did
bit,
you just start with my situation?
I think it's a little bit unique only because some of the early musicians that we've worked with were reading musicians
Ooh.
that I was accustomed to working with. So
Was that a little shade? Did you
did
sprinkle
that
it?
sound like shade? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
So I have to make a transition from going from jazz to R&B. I have to make a transition and understand that musicians that tend to do R&B come at the music from a different point of view.
That's true.
And so I have to learn a different way to communicate. In the jazz, as working as a jazz vocalist, I have charts that I use. I don't use them all the time. Some songs that we do as what we call head tunes, which is songs that we all know, and I tell them a key, and we can go from there. But working in R&B, there's so much intricacies in the music that we have to tend to work with the musician to try to get all those intimacies and intricacies together. And so that's been a bit of a challenge, learning how to communicate with a musician that may not read like some of the musicians that I'm accustomed to working with. So that's a challenge for me.
Okay. Now, Beth, you have a very unique situation. Yeah. So, like, could you explain your experience, at least in this situation and in general, just working with musicians, and what was that like?
Sure. So I am an artist, and I see things So it's this one piece that I'm working on, I'm currently doing, and I have a vision for it. And the emphasis is not so much on the vocals, but it's the vocals matching the character of the person and where they are in this time span in this production. And so the challenge is trying to convey that to the instrumentalist. And I feel like one of the challenges is getting people who really feel the music, you know, because you can play it all day, but if you don't feel it, like that energy that you put in when you really are connected or you really vibe with something is so crucial and important within the performance. So, yeah, being a percussionist, certain things that I like to do, incorporating my tarima, is just, you know, finding that niche. Like, okay, if I'm going to include instrumentalists, like, do you really see where it is that I'm going? And so that's been a challenge for me.
Okay. I'm going to just speak on it. It's something about, we've had some very interesting experiences with musicians during the Sisters of Tune time, from inception to now. I just want people to be on time, show up, know the materials, and not pretend and go on tour because they want to get out the gig. Like, I just need people to actually show up and be professional. Like, that professional integrity needs to be consistent across the board. And I find that I will have to agree with Auntiella. In the jazz musician world, it appears that some of the older cats, they're very much on point when it comes to time, as far as being on time, agreeing to do the show, following up. And it's not to say that, you know, the other genres don't have those, but it's kind of like an anomaly. It's like, what? Like, he showed up? Wow. Oh my goodness, he brought his instrument? Like, woo! I'm sorry, that was just something I've experienced. But yeah, professionalism, integrity. How about yourself? What was it like? You know, your experience working with musicians, Saouda Al-Akbar?
I would say that the challenge has been more or less the enthusiasm of the instrumentalists. Knowing the material, practicing the material, and being able to come away from the chart, what's in front of you, and to be able to internalize it. But that's what I'm just saying, as far as the enthusiasm goes, and having, you know, the same vision. Okay, maybe you don't have to have the same exact vision that we have, but you're hired for a job, and, you know, hopefully we want to keep you. So if you have that vision that we have, or you see how hard, because I mean, we practice all the time, and for them to know how much, you know, to see, first of all, how closely knit that we are. We don't come in there and it's like, you know, oh, these women don't know their stuff. You know, I mean, it's apparent that, you know, that we're, you know, getting it together, and that it's there. But we just need that other part of it. And, you know, as far as enthusiasm of knowing your stuff, being able to internalize that chart and come away from the music, that's just been the entire challenge for me, you know, and it shows, you know, on stage when that enthusiasm's not there. And yeah, so that's been the challenge for me.
Let's talk about the dichotomy between talent and ability, or skill set. Because you have a lot of really talented, I mean, gifted artists out there, but a lot of them lack the discipline and the skill set. So it's, you know, sometimes you'll find somebody, it's like, oh my goodness, you see him at the open mic, he sounds like amazing. And then it's like Slapjack Mahoney at the Sambo's Juke Joint. I mean, that's all I want to say about that. There's something I wanted to ask that I think there were some questions that people sent or asked me over time, and I just wanted to make sure you can speak on your behalf. What do you refer to yourself as when someone says, you know, are you a singer, are you a vocalist, are you an artist, are you a musician? Let's start with Alexis.
I refer to myself as a singer-songwriter.
A singer-songwriter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Singer-songwriter. You write music too, right? she has albums out. Just, you know, these three have albums out. I'm on someone's album, but Auntie Ella.
I guess the first thing I always say is I'm a jazz vocalist. That's just the first and Because that's where I live.
You wanna
so that's going to be the
distinguish.
first thing to come out of my mouth if they ask.
Okay. You want to distinguish jazz. Do you have to put a scat on that? Oh. Bethlehem?
I am an artist.
I am an entertainer. Which I was confused about. They said,
That makes sense.
I'm a vocal musician.
a vocal musician.
Yes, and my genre is jazz.
It's jazz, not jazz, but jazz. Oh, okay. So here's a fun fact for the ladies. I don't know if you know, she saw the paper, so she can't be asked that question. So you know there's a song that we, Sisters of Tune, we usually sing at the end of every show. It's I'm Every Woman. I wanted to know if you've done your Wikipedia, tell you all the answers. Who wrote the song?
Oh, that's a good question.
Boo-doo-doo-doo. Wait, I don't want to give them the copyright for that, but go ahead. Yeah.
Who wrote it?
You gotta guess and go.
Carol King.
No. Alexa?
I don't know why Arif Mardin came to mind, but that's probably way off.
It's definitely off. I'm sorry. Asiela?
I have no idea. It's a dude.
I'm not gonna give you. I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you anything, Beth.
I have absolutely no idea.
All right, Sauda.
Who I know, Ashford and Simpson.
Yes, it was written by the dynamic duo.
Solid.
Yeah, and I bring that up because today is May 4th, and May the 4th be with you. But today is actually Nicholas Ashford's birthday today. He was born in 1941, and he and his wife, Valerie Simpson, they wrote that song. Oh, wow. And it was actually done by Shaka Khan in 78, and it was redone by Whitney Houston in 92.
Oh, wow.
Well, didn't know that. Another fun fact. Oh, yeah, I already told you this. Today's his birthday. All right, what do you see in the future for Sisters of Tune?
Can you start doing it?
Why do I have to start? Okay, fine. I will start. I know the camera's gonna follow me.
All the time.
Okay.
Big things, big things.
New hairstyles. I don't know.
No, I see larger performances, traveling, touring, a household name.
Ha. Okay. I see a documentary in our future very soon. I see us definitely doing an international performance and having a recording compilation project.
I see a group that exhibits so much versatility, which will set us apart from the rest.
Well, I see all of that, and also travel, and becoming a closer knit unit with our own band that can travel with us.
Yes,
can read.
with our own band.
Own
Own
band. Alexa?
Yeah, I would have to agree with all of that. I'm very excited about the traveling and the touring.
You gonna make the plane?
So that's what I see. Definitely more bigger and better shows, more traveling, touring, and maybe some original music between us.
Well, the
And
songwriters.
choreography.
Yeah. So we're going to take a small pause for now, but before then, I'd like to say thank you so much, Philly Cam, for having us here.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all of the support to each and every one of you who have gone to Sisters of Tune performances. Please like us on Facebook, Sisters of Tune. And please follow our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sisters of Tune.